Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today.
Everything's better. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo.
In my professional journey, I've met some wonderful women. Today, meet Angela White. She is a wonderful woman.
Special guest today is Aungelique White, and she is the CEO and the president of Hope for Women's magazine. And today she's going to talk to us about how things transformed for her with just a simple idea that can definitely empower you. So thank you for being on the call today, and I am excited to share you with our listeners. And welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here and honored that you asked me to be a part of your show today.
Absolutely, and I am just honored that you accepted. I really get excited when I find people that connect to, what I love to hear and what I love to see, and just really helping people. I love it when I can reach out to them directly and they accept the challenge of being able to share their story, because I do meet a lot of people who have a great story, but they don't want to share it for whatever reason. So I thank you for being my special guest today, and we are going to get started with letting you share with our listeners a little bit about your background. Where are you from? Where are you at now? And then we'll get into what you do to help so many amazing women. So give us a little background about you.
Absolutely. I am from the good old Midwest, so I'm not from the South and all that good stuff, where it can be real nice with some nice weather. I'm from Indiana. Born and raised in this little small town, Muncie, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I started this dream and this wild and crazy idea to connect women, which I think it was always a passion of mine, and I always think it's fabulous when women can get connected, and because once we get together and put our great minds together, we can do amazing things. So
that's right.
What people see today as a magazine, as a full color magazine, started off as a newsletter just to go to 50 to 100 women, actually church ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was during a time when you had a lot of social media platforms where a lot of groups and Ning and all those good things, and so before I knew it, it blossomed into a full-fledged magazine. So.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what stuck on me that made me reach out to you is that I also used to publish a magazine from 2004 to 2008, and it was called Stand Entrepreneur Magazine, and it was all about standing up for what you believe in as an entrepreneur. So I'll tell you that little secret is what connected me to wanting to reach out to you for you to share how you got your magazine started. And, people look at it as, like you said, it started as just a newsletter and it blossomed into this amazing thing that you're doing for women and into a magazine form. Was it easy? Was it challenging? Was it like, I'm doing it anyway?
Girl. And you already know. From one magazine publisher to the next. It is not easy. When you're doing it this basically by yourself, your passion.
Yes,
and,
yes.
You don't have the big marketing dollars.
Yep.
The human resource dollars to do what you want. You see how big and amazing it is, but you're doing good some days just to say, can I get out of bed? Do I really want to continue to do this? And then you get that email or you get a message from somebody that tells you how you've inspired them.
Exactly.
And what your magazine has done.
Exactly.
And that's what keeps you moving. So that's why I always like to be candid. Anytime you're an entrepreneur, it's not easy, but when you're doing a self-publishing magazine, it's even more difficult.
It is more difficult. Now, let's talk about those events that led up to you starting this, 2000. What happened in 2005 that led you to your dream?
what led me to my dream was I lost my grandmother. Someone was dear to us, and my family, myself, and my father within, was it like a 3-month span?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just at a different place in my life.
Right.
Where, you know, when you get 35,
Right,
I don't know
right.
if you're 35 yet or anybody's 35, but you start to look over your life and think, okay, what am I here for? You know, and actually, with those turn of events, and just me sitting in the back of church one day, it was just like I had this aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, well, what is my purpose? And I knew inside that I was supposed to do a magazine, to be quite honest. 5 years prior, had a good sit-down conversation with a gentleman that did a magazine, and I was like, well, I got real scared. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So 5 years later, with all these events, that's what led me to go back to doing what I thought first was a newsletter, then to do the magazine.
Wow. Doesn't it feel good when you follow your instincts and you follow your passion and you finally say, you know, I'm going to go ahead and step out on faith and do it and just see what happens? And look what happens on the other side of faith, right?
It does. It does. It feels amazing because, you know, one thing that I didn't have no background in publishing.
Me either.
Journalism. You know, it was just definitely with this, I mean, the creativity and all that. I had to learn all this stuff from scratch. I mean, I had to go to School of Hard Knocks 101 for magazine publishing.
Absolutely. So there you go. There's our spirit connection right there, because the same here with me. And it's so amazing when you see the look on people's faces when they see the end result. They're so excited. They want to be in the magazine. They want to have a copy of the magazine, and they get the beauty of the end result, whereby, boy, I tell you, it takes some real might and some real gut to even put those things together, because you want it to be so amazing. You want that end result look that people give you, but it is actually a lot of hard work, and then working with so many different variety of people. Like I had 27 writers. So managing all of that and not having any experience at all, but it was, like you said, the School of Hard Knocks of teaching you everything you needed to know. And guess what? Learning as you go, right?
Learning as you go, and being okay.
Yeah.
Being okay to learn as you go, and if you fall, like if you skin your knees, your elbows, and fall down, to really be okay with being okay. And with that process. And
I tell you what made me really proud when I was reading about you. I mean, you got 100,000 women monthly reading this magazine. Do you know how many lives that you are affecting in a positive way? I thought about that and I said, boy, I can't wait to talk to this lady.
When I think about that, I'm just like, oh, this.
I know. So, look, even when you think about it, right? I saw it, and you know what really flashed through my mind when I saw that number? What flashed through my mind is all of the women who get the opportunity to make a choice. All of the women who get an opportunity to teach their children, especially if they have young ladies, you know. I just thought about that because that was really the feeling that I was getting when I was reading. You know, of course, I do my research and go and find, great people like yourself, and then try to bring this to the listeners so that they can understand that it's not going to be easy. That's number one. But on the other side of that faith walk, everything you want can happen. I mean, I learned that 22 years ago when I left corporate America. I've never worked for anyone else other than myself in 22 years. And so that faith walk, if I had never taken it, I wouldn't even know what was on the other side of this. So when I looked at, when I was reading about you, that was the feeling that I had about you. And I really was proud. And I said, the good thing about this is that I don't even have to know you personally to be proud of you. But I am proud of you, just from one entrepreneur to the next, and from one ex-publisher to you as a publisher.
Thanks. I appreciate that. So sweet. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Now give our listeners, 3 tips to transform their lives and get their ideas out there as a reality. Because I think when people hear tips from those who have done it, those who are doing it, those who are excited that they took the journey, maybe they may take some of these tips. And I just say that to the listeners. If you just take a few of these tips away and you actually put them into play, they really will change your life and your every thought, your process. It could really give you a whole mind shift. So, Aungelique, can you give us 3 tips to help people to transform their dreams basically into reality?
Of course, the first tip is always to have faith. in God. And because if you don't have faith and, believe, I guess it kind of be like 1 and 2 or just all in the combination together. You have to have faith and you have to believe that even what you just said about leaving corporate America 20 plus years ago, you have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Because when you step out and do anything and not be afraid to take that leap and that jump, you're really going to have faith in God and believe that, okay, this is what my purpose is, this is what I'm called to do, and this is what I believe I'm put on the planet Earth to do. Because you're going to have the naysayers. You're going to have all the people in your family, friends, like, girl, you need to go back. You need to go get you an 8 to 5. You need to go back to work and get some benefits. You need to have that steady flow of income coming in. You're going to have all these people telling you what you should do. But you have to have that belief and confidence in yourself.
That's right.
Know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
And then in conjunction to that, I always still say have wisdom. You got to have a plan. Plan 6-2. Have a plan. Put your plan together and then execute it.
That's right.
Don't drag it out and make it more complex and difficult than it really actually should or could be. And a lot of times, when you're planning, a lot of times in that planning stage, you got to keep it to yourself.
That's right.
I know I like to talk, and I get all excited, and I want to tell, girl, guess what I'm doing? Guess what? Look what I'm doing. That was one of the things that I wish that I would have learned early on in magazine publishing.
That's right.
Keep your mouth shut,
That's
girl.
right. That's right. That's
Be
right.
quiet. Shut those lips.
You are so right. Oh, my God, you're so right.
Yourself.
That's right.
And then you work that, and then you'll see it come to fruition.
Oh, man, that was very powerful.
Number 3 is something I think that's very important is to be able to have a good supporting cast. Because one thing you do all these fabulous, amazing things, but you do need what I call, quote unquote, #my role. You need a role of people. That role don't have to be 10, 15 people, but it could be 1 or 2.
That's right.
3 good people that believe in your vision, that one can help pray you through, and if anything else, be the number 1 supporter, cheerleader, telling you when you feel like giving up, when you do cry, when you do feel like, am I making progress, or do you just need someone to tell you, I didn't particularly like what that font looked like, and why'd you go with that color?
Right.
And why'd you put that person on the cover?
Right.
You need those individuals.
Wow. I'm going to tell you, that was so powerful. I hope that, the listeners, I'm going to tell y'all, she just gave y'all the most amazing tips. Having that faith, believing in yourself, planning and work that plan, keep it on the hush. I love that one because everybody can't know what you're doing because everybody's not going to support what you're doing. So you're so right. And then having a good support, what'd you say, my role?
My role.
I love it. I love it. Those are really, really amazing tips. And wow, thank you for sharing that because coming from someone who's been there, who's done that, who's doing it, it really means a lot. It's not like you just don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. And that experience is what's going to help the next person who wants to get to that level. And then they can reach out. And that's what when I was looking at that 100,000 people reading your magazine, I thought, look how many people those people can help the next person that can. So I'm doing like the domino effect of the positivity of it all. So that really did excite me. Now, describe in your words what you think a lifestyle magazine would mean to others. Because I call myself a lifestyle entrepreneur. That was day one, like the thing that I wanted to be to myself was a lifestyle entrepreneur, because not only did I want to be an entrepreneur, but I also wanted to create a lifestyle that was conducive to being an entrepreneur. So what is a lifestyle magazine for those listening that may not understand that terminology? Well,
a lifestyle, it just encompasses everything. I think it's kind of like how you dissect yourself. As an entrepreneur, like you say, you're a lifestyle entrepreneur. As a lifestyle entrepreneur, you are concerned, I'm sure, about your health. Even if you don't dot every I, cross every T, that's something that's important to you. Your family, your friends, your faith. Whether if you like to travel, if you like to just have good tips on how to be a good girlfriend, how to be an amazing businesswoman, or just whatever that encompasses every day of your journey of this thing we call life. That's what I consider as a lifestyle magazine, and that's what, what Hope is. It encompasses. When I did it, I didn't want it to be. It went through various transitions, which is always so interesting. But I didn't want to pigeonhole it into this one group.
Right.
Because
that's right.
With my lifestyle, you can. Like when I started Hope, I was married. In the process of the whole magazine development, I really realized that this was the thing that was helping me to get out of an abusive or an emotional abusive relationship.
There you go.
And so today, I know that's a whole different story. Interview. And at this point, now I'm in the process of finally taking hold and to really grasping what Hope really was. The whole purpose was me to start living my life and not to be afraid to walk away from something that was abusive and to start really living.
Oh, man, that is so amazing. I know you said that's a whole nother story, but I like the fact that you mentioned it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because there's somebody right now that would be listening to the call that would understand and could relate to that, and would you just probably made a difference to somebody that they could say, you know what, if she got out of it and she did this and she's successful, I can do it too. So thank you for just even mentioning it. I really appreciate it. Now,
one of the best decisions that I've made is because I battled with, and there's something else that someone can be helpful with. I battled with the depression, and I was like, well, the whole confidence issues and struggle through a great aspect of developing and publishing the magazine, because I felt at home that I wasn't valued, wasn't worthy, that sort of thing. So once I took my power back, and that's when God began to, and my life just began to open up, and I was really able to be okay with the season and just how whatever life brought my way. You have to learn to use the past, not to have any bitterness or hatred, but to be able to use the past to build and help you with your tomorrow.
You are so absolutely right. Now, let's talk about some of the amazing people you've had on the cover of the magazine. Give us 3 people you've had on the magazine so that the listeners can understand just how amazing and powerful this magazine is.
Well, one person, the first person ever to grace the cover of the magazine was CeCe Winans, so it was really great working with CeCe. I've worked with Dorinda Clark, Erica Campbell. I've worked with Candace Cameron-Bure. We all know her as CJ Tanner from Full House. I've worked with the McGee family that has the sex couplets that were on, and now they're on the Up TV. Worked with the founder and CEO of 31 Gifts, all the handbags and everything. And most recent, that's about to come out in a few weeks, is Octavia Spencer.
I saw that. I was waiting for you to get to it. I saw that. Of course, I did my research, and when I saw that, I went, man, she looks amazing on the cover. But, boy, it looks good. Oh, it looks good. It looks so good. It looks so good. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being able to share this. And we get to that question that people get excited about, and I get super excited about. Let our listeners know, Aungelique, what is it that's stuck on you that makes you who you are? It makes you do what you do. It makes you love what you do. What is it in life, throughout your life, that's stuck on you?
What makes me do what I do and what I'm stuck with is to be able to connect with individuals such as yourself and other women to inspire them, take their dreams, dust off the they've been sitting on the mantle, and they don't really know how to do it and how to jump out there, but to inspire them to just do it. I mean, I wake up every day, and that's what my goal is to empower some woman, and in a lot of cases, men have been inspired just to do and to pursue their dreams and what their purpose is in life.
Wow, that is amazing. So what are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on finishing up my book.
Oh, you've got a book coming.
I'm
Wonderful.
working on a book coming out. It's called Finding Hope.
Oh, okay.
And, of course, it's going to be about my journey to find, my true hope in life. And working on our next cover, our summer issue. We're working on a Hope Girl issue.
Oh.
And we're going to be launching our Hope Television, our Hope TV talk show.
Oh, wow. My spirit told me to ask you that question. I usually let people tell me that they want me to ask them that question, but something said, ask her what she's working on. I bet it's something big, and you just proved that point to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things in the work.
Now, here's the funny thing. I didn't tell you this, but I did a television talk show for 2 years here on the local broadcast TV, and it was called the Fobbs Business Review, and basically I reviewed businesses and things, and guess what? I have no journalism background, no media background, nothing, but let me tell you, when I put that decision in my head that I was going to be on broadcast TV, knowing we have 4 million people here in Houston, Texas, I said to myself, I might not know what the degree you need to have to do it, but I know the elements because I studied for 18 months on how to do the TV thing. I talked to probably 250 TV people. I mean, I went to every state and called 4 or 5 people who had their own local TV shows and just asked them for tips. I got a whole big book of tips and ideas that people gave to me. Then from there, I went to the TV stations, and I got turned down by many, but happened to go to one, Cube TV here in Houston. And I said, I have something that y'all don't have on TV. And he says, what? I said, you don't have a television business talk show. I said, matter of fact, on your channel, you don't have a talk show at all. And I said, I want Saturday mornings, 6 a.m. Here's what we have to offer. I've already taped up 3 episodes. We got more to come. How about it? And he said, let me send you over here to talk to so-and-so. Y'all get it together. You can have it. I mean, I didn't even know what to do, but it was kind of like I hired my own crew. I got my own studio. There's never not enough people to interview. I had people driving from Louisiana to come here, people driving from Austin, people driving from Virginia just to come and be on the TV show live. So my blessing to you is that your TV show will be just as successful as your dreams have already told you, because I know that if it happened for me, it will definitely happen for you, because you already have birthed the thought in your mind and you're already putting those elements together to do it. So I have every bit of faith that it's going to be all good.
Well, Don, you might be planning a trip to Indiana to be on a few of the segments.
I would have no problem to do that. I actually have 7 different business partners, and one of them actually lives in Bloomington, Indiana, and we actually wrote a book together. Yeah, we published a book together. We published a book together last year, and we met on LinkedIn. Isn't that funny?
I love it. Yeah.
So really amazing.
This was meant to be.
And you know what? Let me tell you something I heard when I'm 44 right now, but when I was about 28, 29, I was flipping the TV and I was listening to T.D. Jakes preaching. One thing he said that just really stuck in my head is he said, nothing just happens. You don't just sit next to somebody you're not supposed to be connected to. You don't have even a car accident not on purpose. I mean, like, everything happens for a reason. So, I'm glad you know that. Now, before we wrap this up, I have 2 more questions for you, and one of them is, let our listeners know where they can find you so that they can look the magazine up. I found it. It's amazing. They're going to love it. Go ahead and promote that. Talk about, when you're planning on maybe having your book launch. Go ahead and let everybody know how they can connect to you.
Well, you can find the magazine on hopeforwomenmag.com, and you can go to our store or our subscribe page, and that's where you can subscribe to the magazine.
That's right.
You can find us on Facebook, and we're at Hope, the number 4 Women. That's our Facebook fan page. Excuse me. And then you can find us on Twitter at Hope Mag, at Hope Mag, or you can follow me at Angelia L. White. The book is scheduled to launch this fall, October. The May-June issue will be out in about 2 weeks. And then for our summer issue, which I know a lot of Texans will be happy to hear that Tanya Richard Ross is going to actually be our cover story for the summer.
Woo!
You get that firsthand. No one knows that, but you guys know it now.
Oh, that's amazing. That is so amazing. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the listeners, the name is spelled Angelia White, Angelia White. That way you can find her if you just go to Google and type it in. All of her profiles come up. I've already verified that for you. So when you go in, all of her LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, the magazine, everything's going to pop up so you can find her. Now, my final question is, Angelia, give our listeners one thing about you that they could not Google. Now, remember, I've been on Google, so I've found things. But give our listeners one thing. It could be anything you want to share with them about you that they could not Google. They're going to get an exclusive right here.
Well, I think it's always interesting is that people really don't know, but I'm really like a celebrity because I share the same name. My maiden name is the same as a celebrity. My maiden name and the name that I grew up with is Angie Stone.
Oh, my good. Are you serious?
I'm serious. Angie Stone is what most people know me in my community.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, I can officially say I interviewed Angie Stone. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you again so much for being my guest today. I have appreciated talking with you. I have learned some really great things of, just tapping into knowing that you think a lot like I think. We've got several things here in common, and I'm just excited to even know that. So thank you so much for being my guest.
You're welcome, Don. I'm so great to be here with you today.
Oh, thank you so much. And for our listeners, boy, I know you got papers full because my paper must have been really thirsty because it is full of notes, and I just appreciate you guys for listening to Stuck on Miss Dawn. And again, you're listening to the Stuck on Miss Dawn show. I've had Miss Angelia White on here, and until next time, you think about what is stuck on you that makes you who you are and makes you do what you do.